BT10 Set Review Part 3. It's time to check out the yellow cards. And if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. And starting strong with this video is Pikmons. Pikmons is a level 2 Digimon that has the inheritable of, when attacking, if this Digimon has Cross Heart in its traits, draw 1. This is the best egg used in the Cross Heart deck because it is a draw engine to find your pieces. And even better, the Cross Heart Digimon can Digivolve on top of this with the special black text option as seen in Shoutmon. Additionally, considering a large portion of this set is Cross Heart related, this egg is the best for a sealed setting too. On to level 3s, there's Starmons, Tinkermons, Pulsemon, and Renamon. Starmons is the other 4 of you'll want to have in the Cross Heart deck. Again, an inheritable of draw 1 if your Digimon has Shoutmon in its name, and has the on-deletion save mechanic to place it under a Tamer when it's deleted. Tinkermon on play lets you hit one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon with a -1 security attack until the end of the turn. Simple and easy. Pulsemon can Digivolve from 0 from a BBmon. While this was a head scratcher for me for a little bit, it's also because there is a BBmon in the color of green. This is also because Achillesmon is a yellow-green Digimon, but we'll get there when we hit the level 6s. Finally, Renamon rounds out the level 3s with an on-play effect that lets you add 1 plug-in option card and 1 yellow Tamer from among them to your hand. Inheritable-wise, you get to -2000 DP one of your opponent's Digimon once per turn when you use an option card that costs 2 or more. Renamon adds a little bit more to the Sakuyamon deck. After all, between the 3 different variants, EX2 and this one are the best ones. The other Renamon isn't great. Moving to level 4s, there's Shortmon, Dorulumon, Darkmon, and Kyubimon. Shortmon is a vanilla Digimon that costs 1 memory to Digivolve into, and has 3000 DP. This is the first Digimon in yellow that has a Digivolution cost of 1, and a stat line that's low. Most other colors have multiple cards like this already, especially green. But moving to Dorulumon, this Digimon can also Digivolve from any level 3 Cross Heart Digimon, i.e. ignoring that color requirement. While you can climb conventionally up in the rays, you also have an on-play option that lets you ping one of your opponent's Digimon with -3000 DP if you have another Digimon or Tamer with Cross Hearts in its traits in play. And lastly, on deletion, save, placing this boy under your Tamer. A lot of cards this set will also have material save, but this also means that cards will be dependent on Tamers this format, and there are certain cards that will make this deck very annoying. Darkmon, a Digimon featured in the Frontier movie, has a simple inheritable of, when attacking, once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1. I think this card is better in the sealed format, for the fact that the number of possible checks in the BT10 format will either be rays or setting up your memory and Tamers with the material to go for explosive plays. Granted, this inheritable does stop the smaller Digimon from chipping in and gaining value regardless of not being deleted, or being deleted for material save. And lastly, another support Kyubimon for Sakuyamon decks. This Digimon has a when Digivolving effect that lets you either 1. Return an option card with plugin in its name from your trash to your hand, or you can trash a plugin to draw 2. This card brings a lot of value with plugins, but unfortunately the Sakuyamon line in this format is missing something in the form of DP buffs or extra protection. Meaning you'll have to rely more on their jamming plugin versus being extra aggressive. And while my initial thoughts were this card would be useless in a sealed setting, there are 2 plugin option cards in the set as well. For level 5s, there's Weddedmon, Sanzomon, and Taomon. Weddedmon again is a vanilla Digimon that has a Digivolution cost of 2 and a DP stat line of 8000 DP. Useful again for the sealed format for cheap Digivolution costs. Sanzomon has a when Digivolving effect that puts it in similar territory as BT3 Angelomon, except its security attack -1. Additionally, if you have the memory, if you can climb into a level 6, you can get the inheritable which gives an additional -1 security. In looking at statistics on Digimon meta, this card did not see competitive play, but I do think it has a chance in the sealed play for slowing your opponent down and preventing material save. Lastly, Taomon. When Digivolving, this lets you play any plug-in option card from your hand, ignoring its color requirements. This card lets you fast track into any Sakuyamon, which could be potentially good to start making your opponent's Digimon have -2 security, getting pushed from Raise, and slow the save aspect down. As for Sealed, it also does have potential. Moving to level 6s, there are 3 mono-yellow colored Megas in the form of Achillesmon, Sakuyamon Maid Mode, and Venusmon. Achillesmon has the effect of, when Digivolving, if you have 2 or fewer security, recovery +1. Additionally, when attacking, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -5000 DP for the turn. And if you have 3 or fewer security, gain 2 memory. Design-wise, this card looks cool and all, but its effect screams Sealed to me. This is one of few cards in the set that actually focuses on recovery and controlling the board. But in terms of competitive play, I don't see it hitting it. Sakuyamon Maid Mode is another Digimon that makes an appearance as support for Sakuyamon. When Digivolving, you may use an option card or a yellow option card with a memory cost of 5 or less. Keep in mind, this does include option cards that are multicolored, i.e. Sunrise Buster, pending you have the red source out. Then, after you use the option card, place it on top of your security face down instead of trashing it. #busted. When attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into Sakuyamon for a memory cost of 1, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. Keep in mind you can go back and forth between these two Digimon, but not Maid Mode to Maid Mode. In a sealed setting, this card has limited playability, assuming you're able to pull multiple copies. But I think Sakuyamon becomes much more competitive with next set. Venusmon is the last level 6 Digimon. When Digivolving, all of your opponent's Digimon get security attack -1. Additionally, any Digimon with security attack in its card cannot attack this card, and any when Digivolving and when attacking effects of those Digimon don't activate. This card is interesting in that this card shuts down cards like Black War Greymon and Gaiomon from attacking even if they have the BT8 Metal Greymon. In Sealed, again, this could be very fun. Competitively, currently not sure. Moving to Akari Hinomoto, this 3-cost Tamer lets you play 1 Darulumon from your hand or from under your Tamers without paying its memory cost. In addition, when a Digimon with cross hearts in its traits is played, you can suspend her to draw 1 card. As for security, just play her. Akari is another Tamer that sees considerable play in BT10, along with Taiki Kudo. And again, this card is a viable target with Sunrise Buster. But in a sealed setting, you'll want to pull as many cross-heart related cards as possible to utilize her. Lastly, option cards in the form of Healing Therapy, Impulse Memory Boost, and Lonki Adistacto. Healing Therapy is a 2-cost option card that's similar to Holy Flame. However, it's security attack -1 versus 3, and applies to 3 additional Digimon if Venusmon is on the battlefield. Impulse Memory Boost lets you play a Pulsemon from your hand without paying its memory cost, then Future Delay for 2 memory. The free play of Pulsemon can be valuable, depending on how much security you have, as this can convert the Impulse Memory Boost to simply 2 memory in combination with the promo Pulsemon. At this point, there are a total of 5 Pulsemons, 4 in yellow and 1 in green. And lastly, Lonki Adistacto, the removal option for this color. Unfortunately, there are a lot of caveats to use it. First, if you have a Pulsemon or a Digimon with Pulsemon and its Digivolution sources, you can use this card, ignoring its color requirements. Main, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -12,000 DP. If you have 3 or fewer security, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down on top of their security. This is the second option card that has similar effects to Chaos Degradation, but only if you have 3 or fewer security. The DP reduction only happens if you have 3 or more, but while you have exactly 3, you get twice the removal. Overall, of the yellow Digimon, a majority of the support adds a lot of Shoutmon Crossheart decks and Sakuyamon. But what are your thoughts on the discussion for this video? Do you think Achillesmon or Venusmon has a shot at being top tier meta? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.